This is Jay Tolmar. I'm joined again by Ness Rocker. And today we have another race between Zimmycakes and Catador. This is in the danger bracket of the PK Scramble inaugural race. So we'll get them started pretty soon. We're just waiting for Zimmycakes to ready up. And we'll give the whole... Oh, he just hit it. So yeah, we're good in 10 seconds. How are you feeling, Ness Rocker?
I'm feeling pretty good. This is going to be turning out to be an interesting match. Like you said, this is in the danger bracket, and this is a double elimination tournament. So whoever wins this is going to stick in it.
1. Yes, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I did get the countdown there. So yeah, we'll be... This will be a fun match. Zimmycakes is a very good runner that we see very little of. He hasn't participated in too many of the events. So I don't really know what to expect from him. And Catador as well also does very few of the weeklies. So really don't know what to expect from these two.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with their runs either. But I have to imagine both of them are going to try like heck to stick in this bracket.
Oh, absolutely. Catador, I actually do know a little bit better because he... helps out with some of the hacking in this. He's a very talented reverse engineer and assembly hacker. So some of his code is in this game. But I haven't seen him do too many actual runs, but still just picked it up very, very quickly. I'd also like to comment that they both have very cool window border flavors.
Absolutely. I'm more of a fan of the cursed window frame. I believe that is on Zimmycakes' screen.
Yeah, that might be cursed or fatal. I'm not sure. There are several like creepypasta themed window flavors in the rotation, courtesy of Big Shark Z, who made the entire like first half of window flavors. And then Catador has one of the goofier ones that I drew, the casino flavor.
The casino flavor is very nice as well. It's very bright, though, and I don't tend to like bright window frames.
Yeah, I just saw a Dalam teleport from Zimmycakes. I missed Buzz Buzz, as I always do, but Dalam's a nice starting teleport. You get a kid out of that.
Absolutely. You always love to see that as an early teleport.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a kid, if it's a flying man or a teddy bear, it still helps you out a lot with the early game, especially that flying man.
Yeah, we're so early that a teddy bear is actually still useful. That was a UFO engine, and it looks like the other one was four-side. That makes me think they're going to be finding the diamond pretty quickly as well.
That could very well be a possibility. And just to remind everyone, for this randomizer, it is going to be 4 sanctuaries, Googie, or Guy, I guess, fight.
Goose
and,
Goose.
Goose Goose. Yeah, the Juice Goose. And PSI Shuffle, I believe.
Yeah, so this whole round's PSI Shuffle. We'll be clearing out the PSI Shuffle rounds in another couple of races, and then on to something else. But we're still there, and we have a Jeff on the Dalam throne.
Which is going to come with a key item, and it looks like it is Carrot Key. So that's one sync already open. Also, the Pencil Racer over on Zimmycakes' side. And I saw Oxwas do this as well, but Zimmycakes is going for that Mr. Baseball cap, and I don't usually go for that myself.
Yeah, I think that's more common the more someone is like an old school runner. Because a lot of categories open up with you grab that, and then you go sell it and buy a regular baseball cap and a cheap bracelet. And you can still do that in PK Scramble. I think it's still a pretty cool play. It's just sometimes the category just found a cheap bracelet in the trash, so he doesn't need to do all of this.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I usually get all my jewelry, to be fair.
Out of the trash?
Yeah, it's found art.
Found art is kind of cool. You'd not contribute to the wastefulness of consumer society.
You did not miss Guardian Digger. In fact, we've not seen any of the bosses, not even Frank. I don't think we've come close enough to the arcade, but I think we're about to.
Yeah, I see a clumsy robot and a plague rat of doom back there.
That is a spicy combo.
It is a spicy combo. Catador found the other starting equipment that you can get from selling the Mr. Baseball cap by looking in another trash can. It looks like Zimmy is going to go Pink Cloud first, which is kind of interesting.
And the way it's looking like in the sharks, that might be a smart idea because these are not playing
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, those are some pretty aggro sharks. That's a lot of levels he just picked up off the first one. Got enough croissants? Yeah, I like this. Just heal up and do the next one, because you probably gained enough Oh, no, he's just leaving. Okay. It looks like Pink Cloud is also nasty.
Yeah. Makes me wonder where they should go next, then. Got Foresight open, so that leaves, not Magic Ant, Moonside.
Yeah. And of course everyone's favorite, Mole Cave, is over there. Funny you should mention croissant and Nutella. I just added Nutella to the eventual condiment randomizer.
Really? So is it taking the place of something, or will it just be extra?
Yeah, I'm slowly picking my way at generating a full set of food and equipment. It'll be a while, though. Like, the more I dig into it, the more I find out that I have to just do so many random things.
Zimmycakes losing Jeff, checking the ATM to see if he can revive. And see $6 in his bank account. That's not gonna do it.
That's not a great feeling. Though he does have access to free healthcare in Dalam.
That is true. I wonder. It doesn't look like he either remembers or he just really, really wants that President Tracy's room.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun one to do when you are just running into trouble. No, he's not doing that. Maybe he just forgot that he had Dalam full heal. Also, Ness has a cold and doesn't have access to Healing Alpha. Is he just gonna grind for Healing Alpha?
It looks like that might be the case.
That is a rough play. Hopefully he realizes that Dalam is free healthcare.
Yeah, like you said before, especially with that Mr. Baseball cap pickup, he might be in that vanilla speedrunner mindset where you just don't go to Dalam really too much.
Yeah, stopping back at Dalam for a heal is a little weird. Normally you'd have Saturn Valley by then, which is a lot of people's preference. Looks like Catador found Repel Sandwiches and is struggling with the fact that this shop is awful.
Any plans on changing that?
No, I actually made it an incentive shop because it's so bad. So the item level in there is slightly higher than it should be for its depth.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That's the J. Tomar I know.
So the incentive shops are the expensive shop in Foreside, the expensive shop in Summers, the department store in Foreside, and the Tenda Horn of Life shop. Or maybe another one I forgot.
Looks like it's Guardian General here on Catador's side for Moonside, and that shouldn't be too much of a problem, although it is still early, and as I say that, Ness is dead.
Yeah, it looks like Catador's contemplating whether to use that big bottle rocket. It looks like regular bottle rocket did it, so good call.
Looks like you might just be a little ahead of me on that one.
Yeah, that's like one full check ahead, but it's a short check. Another fairly rocky start, though, with several checks that ended up being deeper than you'd expect. I bet this is Diamond. Key to the Shack. Interesting. So that is not progression, but it is another Sanctuary.
I'm going to try to reload my stream real quick. Looks like you're a couple seconds ahead of me, Tomar.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm looking at my copy on OBS, which hypothetically should be ahead. Hello, Greg. Welcome everyone in chat. Looks like we have Fatagan, Captain Ultros, and hypothetically Greg joining us. Kind of a weird time that we're streaming this, but this is when we could get these runners together. So I'm glad you could all make it out here and watch this match.
Yeah, absolutely. And Greg, I hope you film a little better at least.
Oh, wow. Apparently the trash in the arcade was the Mr. Baseball bat. I misread that as baseball cap when Catador picked it up. That is much more useful.
I don't think the Mr. Baseball cap actually drops from any treasure chest, but I could be wrong, and you'd be the one to correct me.
It does not. I actually once thought it did, and it was a bug, and it was actually the bat. That's very cute. I actually am going to be adding the Mr. Baseball cap to the item pool very shortly.
Just to confuse yourself?
Yeah, confuse myself even further. No, I'm working on adding NPC items to the pool, which is one of the many unexpected things on the road to item randomization.
I don't know if you saw that, but Catador called the bus and then just left it.
Yeah, don't punk bus drivers, people. That's not nice.
Also, just a little bit of Ness Rocker trivia here. I know Look Who's Photogin in real life, and his son does call me Ness instead of my actual name.
Aww. That's very cute. I thought he was just saying it because Ness is on screen, but the truth is even more adorable.
And Zimmycakes still carting around that ghost of Jeff, it looks like.
Yeah, Catador has found the yogurt dispenser. That's a exciting item to find. That's another kid check. Still not that diamond I was expecting, though. A lot of my friends actually call me Tolmar, which is my middle name, which I've went as sometimes when there's too many Justins out there.
See, I thought the J in J Tomar stood for justice.
Yeah, Justin, Justice, basically the same name. It would be really funny if it stood for J, like Jay.
Or just J the letter, like Harry S.
Yeah, just, I only have a letter there. Having a one-letter first name would be pretty awkward.
And despite all the trouble that Zimmycakes is having in this early game, they are pretty much on the same path here. They went to Moonside. They're going to the Mole Cave now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he found a couple life noodles. Maybe he'll actually use it on Jeff.
I wouldn't hold my breath on that one.
Looks like he did, so you could have.
There you go.
Jeff is finally back. Yeah, so they're very next to each other right now. Did Zimmycakes actually clear out Moonside, though?
That I'm not 100% on.
Yeah, I think Catador is about a Moonside ahead. And of course, Zimmycakes is still having bad times with flashing lights on his screen.
And they'll get the yogurt machine from this, which will, like you said, open up another kid check. I mean, everybody's looking for Paula, obviously, but Pooh could be good too with his key item. Montoli gives you a key item as well, but they still need Sanks.
Yeah, and they also have the Trial of Nothingness check open, so Pooh opens up quite a bit. I believe that... oh, go ahead.
No, that's fine. I was just going to say that Diamond would open up 3, though, which would be another key check.
Yeah, and they have the UFO engine from the Meteor, so that would... Like, I have a lot to do in 3, actually. They have Jeff and the UFO engine.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're going to see this lead to 3 sooner rather than later, in my opinion. But I could be wrong, and I often am.
Yeah, I mean, I've been expecting Threed for a hot minute. It just keeps dragging out. Though, overall, it's very, very rare to have a seed that doesn't go to Threed at all. There's so many ways to get there, and it's on the path to Saturn Valley. So, would be surprising if they never got there.
True. I know they have summers open through that teleport engine, but I don't anticipate seeing a trip longboat to Scaraba this seed.
Yeah, that one's less common for sure. They already have 2 sanctuaries as well, so unless the next 2 sanctuaries are Lumine Hall and Fire Springs, it would be pretty unexpected for that to be required.
For sure. In addition to that, probably not going to see a Monkey Cave either, just because there's not really many more teleport locations that would open up to 2 more Sanks. I mean, Winters would if they got Bubblegum.
Lost Underworld.
Lost Underworld as well, yeah.
Yeah.
The teleport to Saturn Valley would be welcome, but somehow I don't think we're going to see that this season.
Yeah. I'm I'm not on the same page with Monkey Cave because they do have that pencil eraser, so they're only one item away from it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll see whose predictions will
Yeah,
leak out in the
we've
end.
both predicted so many different things that between the two of us, we'll still be wrong. The same as when doing the Geiger's assistant check or prediction.
That's true. Yeah.
I think Zimmycakes just finished out Mole Cave a little faster than Catador, which is pretty impressive because Catador had repel sandwiches coming in and like characters in decent shape.
That is kind of surprising. He also got that XP from Moonside, right?
Yeah, it looks like Catador's just taking a lot more fights with Duck Duck Noose.
I never even thought about that.
I don't even remember who I stole that from, but I'm gonna keep using it. All right, and that's a yogurt dispenser for Zimmycakes. Gonna pick up another kid. Looks like item checks in the desert first.
Not a bad move. I mean, it's kind of the same level as the Mole Cave, right? So the items would be a good stopgap from his power level right now.
Yeah, we did see ridiculous items in this desert in the last race that we commentated. Yeah, this makes sense. Just coming over to this arms dealer because you have Jeff, and instead of taking the teleport, you could pick up a couple on the way.
Might even get lucky and run into a caterpillar.
Yeah, looks like Catador took 2 sunstrokes on the way out of the cave. That is ridiculous.
I blame the photo guy.
Yeah, Catador's just getting robbed by RNG left and right over here.
Finally, Catador's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Teleport beta, fine.
Yeah,
I get it.
Game doesn't want me to use teleport alpha. I see how it is. Thankfully, he does have that healing alpha, so Sunstroke's not completely a pain in the butt. We really do need to add that sunblock into this game.
Oh, yeah, that would be interesting. Would it replace wet towel or?
We've got actually several empty item slots that we could use, so it wouldn't have to.
My suggestion is to fill the rest of the slots with just more Casey bats.
We need to find other poems about baseball heroes who strike out. We can fill with a different bat for each of them.
There you go.
But yeah, actually the PSI farewell notes, all of the different variants of Lucky Sandwich, and a couple of key items that don't appear in the rando are slots that we could use for other nonsense.
Looks like this was the right call. The robots don't seem very strong in the Montoli building.
Yeah, that is interesting. This does logically have to be deeper than Mole Cave, but they're not giving Catador any trouble over here. Unless you count the trouble of the 10-second countdown.
Yeah, he even got hit by the RNG robot.
Yeah, it looks like Zimmycakes missed the easy skip, and so did Catador, and Catador got the harder one. Let's see if Zimmycakes also misses the easy one and gets the hard one.
And that's Mondo Mole guarding Montoli.
Yeah.
So that's one we're not going to see in the final boss.
And Zimmycake also manages to skip the harder to skip robot. At least I always thought that second one was harder to skip. Hey, you got your poo.
There we go. Now let's see what he has in his hands.
Diamond. Full party.
Is that a guess?
Yeah, that's my guess. Looks like Fly Honey from Monotoli.
Maybe Zombie
Monkey
Pig Prom
Invitation. There we go.
Oh. Right?
Yeah. I'm going to say that Monkey Invitation leads to Diamond.
All about that diamond.
I mean, they have Foresigned and UFO Engine and Jeff. and they don't have 3 to access yet. So it's like there's 3 things that leads to, right? 4 things that leads to right now.
You know what? I'm just going to play the devil's advocate here and say that it's going to be a zombie paper.
All right. 3 to teleport would be 3 out of the 4 things that make me think it's diamond. So that could be a nice way to troll my prediction. This is a randomizer. There's definitely like a lot of random going on. But if you are trying to predict what items you're going to get, the one that has the most ways to open up a new check is the most likely, just very mildly.
And it looks like Zimmycakes is taking another crack at Moonside here.
Yeah, it's going to be much easier with this 3-kid party and all those levels.
Yeah, it's, even getting some XP on Pooh might be advantageous.
Oh, definitely. Catador is going to talk to the monkey bouncer in his cute little suit.
I love that sprite rework.
Oh, thank you. I actually drew that in like May and finally got around to adding it once Messianic gave us all those beautiful boss sprites. I was like, okay, it's time to add new sprites to this game.
Oh yeah, all those sprites are really cool. So props to Messianic, you said?
Yeah, maker of Mother 2 Deluxe, a different hack for Earthbound.
I'll have to check that out.
I've never gotten around to it either, even though I think I'm in the credits for helping out with assembly stuff. But it's okay, he hasn't played PK Scramble either.
I mean, tit for tat, I guess.
Yeah.
I also love saying no to the monkey who wants a fresh egg. Fine, I'll just be a weird monkey.
Nice. Oh yeah, so speaking of seemingly arbitrary tasks that I need to do if I want to do item rando, Monkey Cave rando is on the docket.
Is there any way to erase that docket?
I will definitely put Monkey Cave rando behind a flag because like I can see that people wouldn't enjoy it all the time.
I have to wonder about you sometimes, J. Tomar, because you think to yourself, man, 2 mice is going to be controversial. And then you think, well, I'm just going to go ahead and randomize Monkey Cave.
Like, I understand that Monkey Cave is going to be controversial. A lot of people are like, oh, that sounds fun. But I'm pretty sure that's like a sometimes kind of fun. Like adding curses to your seeds. But yeah, I'm surprised how much people dislike Monkey Cave. I think it's kind of neat.
I don't mind it now that I know, like, I have it memorized.
Mm-hmm.
Tender Crowd.
Lost Underworld. Well, this is nothing that we predicted. That will be another teleport, which could be a lot of different things. And they still haven't done the Frank check.
I think that teleport has to be Winter's, in my opinion. Because that's the only teleport that would give a key item off the bat.
They've got, they could get the teleport to Winters from, Dalam as well.
Yeah, but I'm just saying where they're at right now. I think that I mean, you wrote the logic, so you know way more than me. But in my brain, I'm thinking, well, they need a key item right now to open up the game.
Yeah.
And that teleport has to teleport them somewhere with it. To give it to them. I'm thinking...
They either need to get a key item... I mean, there's still Frank, right? I don't think either of them have done it. So, whatever that leads to, or... Yeah, Winters is the only way left to turn a teleport into a key item. Wait, no, there's a Threed. And Tucson.
Oh, yeah, for Boogie Tent.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking with Winters.
There's also Saturn Valley would give them a whole bunch of stuff. So,
okay, alright, we get it.
Yeah, there's a lot of options still. The Winters is required to be a teleport. Like, some of the other ones might not even be in the seed. So I do think Winters is probably the most likely of these. We'll be finding out shortly. Gals turning in that Tentacrown.
Meanwhile, Zimmycakes is playing a little catch-up. He's going through the Monkey Cave as we speak.
Monkey Cave? I didn't see if he did the full 4-item pickup to get through this quickly.
The teleport is Saturn Valley.
Saturn Valley. So they have the Fly Honey. So this is 3 Dan Tucson access. So they're, like, that's opening up the seed completely.
Okay, so uh, now let me ask you a question. If they didn't have foresight and they turned in the jar of fly honey, can
Mhm.
you go back through the
You
tunnel?
you cannot. You do need one of the three down there to get that between the tunnel stuff.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that actually used to be like a thing that would get people stuck pretty often. So there are new zombies that will inform you of that before you go through the tunnel.
Gotcha.
Catador's doing some thinking. I think just figured out the belch base play.
Might be trying to decide if he needs the levels from his sinks here.
Mm.
Trying to go to fire springs or maybe even
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. And that Frank check is getting older and older. I would definitely be looking at that now because it's got to be easy by now. Looks like a meteorite hint for Catador.
a smart play, to be honest. And that could be behind Frank, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Oh, so there it will be a diamond this seed because Venus has it.
Okay.
Looks like it looks like I need to work on the text wrapping of that. Catador is scratching his head a little bit about like maybe a star has it, but the next line does clear that up.
And they still need another kid check as well for Paula at the very least.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be Threed Prisoner or Cabin Kid?
My gut tells me Threed Prisoner,
Yeah,
but
me too.
my spiteful brain says happy prisoner.
Nice. Yeah, we do know they will get Threed access because they are going to be doing Diamond eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. And to another point though is that they have the pencil eraser, so having the Paula be in the shack in Happy Village
Oh, yeah,
is
you're
a
right.
real possibility.
Yeah. Also, they don't need the Threed access from the Diamond because they have what they're doing right now, or at least what Catador's doing right now. Looks like we found our first OK pendant.
Yeah, great pickup there. It's gonna give it to Jeff.
Looks like Ness.
It's probably smart.
Yeah, Ness is definitely better than Jeff. Sorry, Jeff fans.
Rip Jeff.
Rip Jeff. I didn't even actually look at the PSI shuffle we have today. It looks like we've got Flash and Thunder on Pooh, which is not the most useful set.
Yeah, I was looking at those because of the conversation in the Discord. I was looking at some of the mechanics there. Apparently, Thunder will always hit if there's 4 or more enemies.
Yeah, so Thunder has... It's weird. If there's one enemy, there's a 25% chance of hitting. If there's 2, it's 50%. If there's 3, it's 75%. If there's 4 or more, it's 100%. And then once it decides whether it hits, then it picks a random enemy. And if it kills something, it'll pick a random remaining one, but it won't recompute the chance to hit. So if you have like the best possible case for Thunders, 4 enemies that it can one-shot, it will hit all of them. With Thunder Omega.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting mechanic. I can't see many ways to abuse it in like a Scramble sense, but it's handy to know.
Yeah, definitely. I do wish that Thunder was a little more accurate, but this is the game that we are playing. I'm trying not to change too many of the mechanics.
I was getting ready to say you should have a talk with the guy who does this hack.
if I started changing game mechanics to my whim, I would be doing a lot of it.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons that PK Scramble has been so popular and successful as it has, is because there's still a ton of the original game left in there. It's only things that you've changed that for the better.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, stuff like the freeze nerf and what's the other balance change in there? The flash nerf just kind of end up being very necessary for balance, but picky things like the fact that the speed scaling algorithm is kind of silly, like you don't really need to change that. It just would make me happier.
Looks like Zimmycakes is going a different route here and going for the meditation.
Yeah, that's neat. It's always nice to have a route divergence.
And if I could put a bit in to change anything about the PK Scramble, Casey Bat.
And just more of them.
Twice as powerful, half as accurate.
I think it's actually already as powerful as a weapon can be in this game's engine.
Well, you're going to need to make a new engine.
Make a new engine. We'll just have to switch to the PC port.
Right, yeah.
Looks like Master Belch is sneezing on people.
And that's a reduction due to his level scaling, right?
Yeah, it is. Looks like Magicant teleport up on that rock. So, not progression. Maybe Zimmycakes will decide to go loot the place.
True, or even fight Magicant, as we saw in that race with Slug and Andy the other day. Magicant kind of made the difference there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you could see the point where she just like slid past him due to that. That was one of the clearest like demonstrations of oh jeez, you got that 3 teleport that will save him like 40 seconds. Yeah, that was one of the clearer demonstrations of like just how good Magicant is, because they were very evenly matched runners, and then she just overtook him right in the Cave of the Past.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, against someone, if you're neck and neck and you stop to do Magicant, obviously that's going to put you behind, and you may not catch up. But especially if you're a little behind and you can repel sandwich through it and you can beat the boss in one go, it might make the difference to help you catch up.
Yeah, I think like the earlier you manage to do it, if you think you can pull off a Magicant, you have access to it and you think you can pull it off and you've got multiple sanctuaries left, I think it'll turn out in your favor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and stuff you can be looking for in the meantime to think, well, can I do Magicant? 1, do you have repel sandwiches? 2, have you seen the speedy bosses yet? If so, maybe you can get off a good bottle rocket. If you have Dragonite, maybe you can do it that way. Any way you can cheese that last boss. If you can avoid enemies and cheese the last boss, you're set.
Yeah, I think that's a very good way to look at it. I remember on one of the weeklies, during the qualifiers actually, Javinator took Magicant and was the only one who did, because he found early Magicant and multi-bottle rockets and just like put 2 and 2 together. I can cheese this boss. I have early access. I'm doing it. And Catador has found Paula.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to do Boogie 10 now.
It's a good question. He's not doing the UFO ride to Summers.
Not. Was it Catador or Zimmycakes? It was Catador who got the meteorite in, right?
It was Catador.
Okay, he's going back to Dalam. I think he's just going to try to clear out some of these Sanks White things.
Yeah, it looks like he's following exactly my recipe for when to do them. It's just Paula means sanctuaries.
It's a good recipe.
Yeah, you don't have to think too much about it, which lets you think about other things. And apparently has Paula items hidden on everyone.
Messing around with the R menu button there.
Yeah, I actually used the fact that if you use the regular menu to give an item to a kid, that becomes the R menu item, which you don't see too many people use.
Yeah. I got so used to the R menu item, I tried an ancient cave once and just dropped a legendary bat on the floor.
Oof, that's rough. Chaz and I have talked a little bit about adding the R menu into Ancient Cave. So it might end up being that both randos end up with another setup menu item for R menu behavior, and then we both have both of those options.
Now, I have a question for you. That sounds really cool, sorry. But the items that are littered around Dalam, are they scaled to where Pink Cloud is for enemies?
They should be scaled to where Throne Character is.
Okay. That makes sense, because he just picked up our fry pan, but that's not indicative of how hard Pink Cloud may or may not be.
No, only the chests in Pink Cloud itself are scaled to the same level. So this one that Catador has picked up. Of course, an IQ capsule tells you basically nothing.
Yeah, might as well just throw those on the ground.
They're good for Pooh. Or Ness. Both need help catching up to Paula because she's so brainy.
True, and you want a lot of psychic points on those healers. Right?
Yeah, definitely. And if you find a Starstorm check, you definitely want them on Pooh. He has the lowest IQ stat.
Looks like Pink Cloud is third Sanctuary, by the way.
And good to know. We also have 3 Sanctuary accesses, so I don't know what the last one's going to be. I mean, no, we have all 4. Yeah, I didn't notice it, but Catador's in go mode. I think Zimmycakes is too.
Oh, I think you're right.
Because they have Giant Step, Pink Cloud, Milky Well, and Lilliput Steps.
I didn't even think about Lilliput Steps. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either until I said it out loud. I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, no, wait, they still need the meteorite piece.
Oh, that's right. But they do know where it is, so they're looking for Diamond, and that's go mode.
I'm trying to think what checks they have left to give key items. I mean, they've got Apple Kid, they've got Everdread, they've got Boogie 10.
Yeah. They have Cabin Character, and I think they still have Frank.
They do still have Frank.
If it's on Frank, that'll be very funny, because that means that they had 3 Daxes much earlier than either of them did.
Oh, yeah, if the diamond was on him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. He was pretty rough in the early game, but I'd say they're going to wipe the floor with him now.
Oh, absolutely. It's very easy to overestimate just how, out of your depth you are with those early checks. As an enemy that does, 60 damage and one-shots you at the start of the game is only, 2 checks deeper than where you are.
Yeah, and, I mean, even Catador won that first fight with the shark, even though it was rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he could have probably pushed through and done the whole thing.
Speaking of Frank...
there is a Frank in Giant Step. Not too far from his original home.
You're going to have to come up with a new Gygas assistant.
That's true. It's Shroom. Shroom is my second choice.
Okay. We also saw Captain Strong. That's what I usually go with.
Yeah, everyone likes those friendly melee ones. And then once you don't get one, you just pick the meanest thing you can think of.
I'm going to go kind of soft on this one. I'm going to say Everdread.
Everdread, the softest of the boss choices. Looks like we're going to be getting a high 5 in here. Unless Zimmy teleports out, I guess. Yep, he's going to be leaving Catador hanging on that high 5.
Yep, Zimmy is saying later, nerds, and teleport now.
Yep. Looks like, didn't he already do Pink Cloud? Oh, he tried Pink Cloud and had a bad time.
Yeah, he had a bad time. But Catador has Pink Cloud.
Catador has picked up the Casey bat.
Will he use it? I sure hope so.
He didn't immediately drop it.
Honestly, it's a little late for it. I like to get it early game and kind of get some of those battles instantly won.
Yeah, it is very nice if you're just cheesing a fight. It's actually very good for Earthly Magicant. Because your chances of surviving 4-ish rounds to actually do significant damage are pretty decent.
Sure. And I don't like it as much in PSI Shuffle either, because Ness might have some useful PSI he needs to use.
Yeah, it looks like Ness has freeze in the Rockin' slot.
Yeah, that's pretty important. So you're not going to get much chance to bash there.
Yeah, speaking of PSI Shuffle, I noticed that Paula has Starstorm in the fire slot. So that is very nice. I haven't seen Fire or Rockin' yet. So one of those will be Ness's Flash slot, which you basically get none of. The Catador's finding out the zombie paper is in Stonehenge.
Little unnecessary now that they have the teleport.
Yeah. It is still useful, just because it's a check you never have to do. But I don't think they were in much danger of having to do Stonehenge anyway.
Right. This is one of the few races we've commentated on that didn't have an early eraser.
Yeah, it's always nice to not have that.
Because, even as commentators, when I see that picked up, I'm like, oh, I hope they don't have to go to Stonehenge.
Looks like Catador is going to be entering a meme. Is it PSI Shuffle? No. I don't know this meme.
I'm not familiar either.
Psh, 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 trumpet, apparently. I don't know what this is.
I'm not sure either. It may not be related to Earthbound. The only trumpet I can think of is the broken one and the guy who plays his trumpet all across town.
Yeah, that's a very nice tune, that second one. And Catador just barely dodges the photo trigger down there.
Oh, we got a mod in chat.
I can... Apparently I do not have mod powers today. Yeah, I thought I had mod powers, but I don't, so we just have some sketchy dude in chat.
And we'll just ignore it.
Oh, there it is.
I mean,
boop.
Good job. Nothing like them 11 a.m. Spam bot.
Yeah. They always have like the exact same name scheme. They should just ban signing up names like that, and the bots would all break.
True.
Though I guess Nanobyte in our community does have a name in that scheme too, so that might be a bit too overzealous.
Oh yeah, I didn't even consider that. Okay, we're gonna see what the boogie tent item is.
Yeah, that's the diamond. So that is actual go mode for Catador. Meanwhile, Zimmycakes is picking up yet another sanctuary.
I think it's really interesting that neither one of us predicted that the diamond would be seen in this scene.
Neither of us predicted that the diamond would be in this seed? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's how I remember it.
Oh, okay. I definitely predicted it would be an early item, and it definitely was not.
It is kind of interesting because a lot of these Force Sanks, you get the meteorite pieces really early.
Yeah, definitely. Trudging Charles, Catador just picked up the meteorite. So Zimmycakes is still in meteorite hunt, and Catador is in go mode.
Makes me wonder what's behind Frank then.
Yeah, that's a good question. Probably like a Shyness book. Well, they didn't seem deep enough for it to be that, so maybe I don't know, hieroglyph copy.
Bubblegum? Eraser?
Yeah. It's probably something that they could go immediately use, just because the sharks weren't that scary. But
oh man, I thought for sure Catador was getting on that bus.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any buses during the tournament. I want the finals to just have both runners accidentally get on the bus. I think that would be perfect.
Vehicle percent? You have to ride every vehicle at least once.
That sounds fun. Is Tessie a vehicle?
I consider Tessie a vehicle, but also a person.
That makes sense. I mean, if Dungeon Man can be a dungeon and a person.
Oh, well, Dungeon Man is a garage because he houses other vehicles.
Oh, that's interesting. But you could also, ride in him, so he's a garage that's a vehicle that's a person. Very multi-talented, that Dungeon Man. Huh. It looks like, if Palette Shuffle worked in this dungeon, that it would have been green today.
Yeah, how come that doesn't, actually? I've noticed that when you get the Sank.
Palette Shuffle currently does not handle animated palettes, and this is one of the animated palettes in the game.
Should it not? Well, I guess that's part of the palette then. The animated part is part of the ground.
Yeah, so the way that an animated palette works is it'll load the palette that I actually can successfully shuffle and then immediately override it. So you'll see that in this place and Stonehenge and Moonside, where it'll load in one palette and then immediately switch to vanilla.
I kind of like Stonehenge staying the same just because it's so purple and creepy.
Yeah, and the similar looking like zombie cave areas end up pretty weird looking in palette shuffle. But I might actually switch the palette shuffle to use a different color space that handles the blue better. So, I might fix it. I can't believe that wasn't a red swirl for Catador.
Yeah, that was pretty dicey.
Yeah. But both of them are getting through the sanctuary with no problem.
Zimmycakes actually using repel sandwiches to get out of here.
Yeah, this is one of the sanctuaries I'd consider that. They both have access to exit mice, though. And I do think even with the reverse exit mouse, it would have been faster to go pick those up. Is this the final sanctuary for Zimmycakes?
I believe it is, but he still doesn't have meteorite.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice to do all the sanctuaries first. Maybe just thinking about all of them, or maybe just forgot that he needs a meteor.
Or maybe still trying to weigh where to go. He's got a lot of options, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. There's there's Frank, Boogie Tent, Everdread, Cabin Kid.
Apple Kid.
Yeah, and Catador just like went straight to the right one, but that was a little bit lucky.
Yeah, I'd say so. We could see Zimmy after the sync going the wrong way and end up kind of lost.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully he does take the meteorite hint well over here, because one of the reasons that it worked out so well for Catador was that he got lucky and picked up the diamond, but also had the hint that said that the diamond led straight to the meteorite piece.
That's true. And if I'm not sure how much experience Zimmycakes has with the scramble, but if he's thinking in that vanilla mindset, he might even think, well, diamond just gets me to 3. It doesn't give me a key item, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the diamond's a little bit of a weird one. Because it is that... Like, both of its functions are slightly different from vanilla. You have to, like, sit down and think about how the diamond works for a bit before you figure out why it does those two things.
Right.
It just occurred to me that I didn't turn either of their sounds on. There we go.
I would have said something, but I don't have the stream on. So.
Oh yeah, I ran into the same thing when I was doing the commentary. Also, we've just been so chatty that it's hard to notice.
Oh, we're supremely entertaining. We don't even need a race to go on.
Just start a podcast.
Oh, I had an idea. Never mind. This is not the time or place.
Fair enough. Alright, so Zimmycakes has absorbed the power of the land into his heart, but he still needs that meteorite piece. Catador has go mode, but looks like he's checking the meteor teleport? No, just dropping it off and then picking up the sanctuary. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, thanks for the compliment, Sergeant Charles. And it is very early on the West Coast, and I think a lot of our participants are West Coast.
Yeah, there's actually a lot more mountain time than I expected, or maybe I just like noticed mountain time a lot. We did all the scheduling in Pacific time because that is my local time zone, and I have to do so much of the scheduling that I'm not putting up with a different time zone. But we've also gotten a lot of like late times despite that.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I prefer a little later time on the East Coast, which means it's very, very late for you.
Yeah. Also, I think Catador might be in Brazil, so it ends up being one of those earlier time slots. We do have... Yeah, we do have a handful of international runners in this race. And they always end up with some interesting choices of times.
That is kind of interesting. I didn't realize that he was in.
Yeah, I actually didn't check, so it could be Portugal, but I do know that he speaks Portuguese.
Gotcha. I know Oxwas is not in the U.S. of A.
Yeah, Oxwas is in Japan, right?
I'm not sure. I don't want to comment.
Yeah, I'm willing to just be corrected. Yeah, so if those two end up in a race together, we're going to have some very fancy scheduling.
Tune in at 3 a.m. Eastern.
Sounds great. 3 a.m. Eastern is only midnight over here, so I'll probably handle that. A little past my bedtime.
And I'm interested to see where Zimmycakes goes from here. It looks like he went back to 3, maybe going to try Boogie Tent.
Yeah, if he picks up Boogie Tent, then they're basically doing the same stuff, and it's just about how fast they do it.
Honestly, with the checks open, I probably wouldn't do Boogie Tent first. I like to, if I have multiple checks open, I like to try to get them all at once. So I would have gone to Tucson first.
Yeah, I also would have picked up Tucson. Well, actually, I would have picked up Frank, just because I know that he's super underleveled at this point. But Tucson's very dense at this point. They've got the 2 checks that chain right into each other. Then again, Threed is literally on the way to Tucson, so that could be why they both picked it.
You know what? I did forget they don't have a teleport to Tucson. So that makes sense to do Boogie Tent and then walk back.
Yeah, that might have actually been, but both of them are planning. Did you see if Zimmycakes picked up the hint? For the meteor.
No, they didn't, as far as I could tell.
Interesting. So this will be an interesting question, because this is not actually the meteor, it's just the diamond which leads immediately to it.
Yeah, so are they still going to go to Tucson, or are they going to turn into the diamond?
It looks like on it.
Doing that Frank play.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense without the hint, but picking that hint up definitely would have saved Zimmycakes at least this one check, possibly more.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking maybe on the PK Scramble page you could list like hints for new players, where to get them at least.
They're all in the guide.
Oh, okay. I've not read the guide.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's the thing, is I can list as much as I want, but speedrunners don't actually read. So there's the limit to how well documentation helps anyone. But you know what really helps out with people learning all the stuff in the thing is just having commentated races like these.
That is true. Honestly, I learned a lot of the intricacies from the Scramble watching you stream a Scramble.
Oh yeah, I should do that sometime. It's been a hot minute since the last time.
Also, I definitely thought you were going to say... I definitely thought you were going to be like, and you know what really helps us out? If you just like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.
I mean, I don't own this channel. You can like, comment, and subscribe all you want, but it'll just make it'll make a lot of people who do Earthbound speedruns happy, because this is the channel that is used for several different speedrunning tournaments. Yeah, it is funny sometimes when you run into someone who actually does read the whole guide, and then they just show up knowing everything. Hey, we got a subscription. Thank you on behalf of, I believe Temple runs this stream.
I believe you're right about that. And thanks again, Lucas, for talking for this up. We are getting into the end game here, so let's get those predictions. Who is going to be the assistant to the Cosmic Destroyer?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Shroom.
Shroom has not been seen, so that's a good choice.
There's not been a digger. We'll count that for you for login. And I believe, Nesraku, you said Everdread. Vanilla Poke.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's infrequently guessed. And literally equally likely to all of the other ones, because it is a straight shuffle with no logic to it.
You know what? I'm going out of my comfort zone on this one. I'm going to say Kraken.
Kraken. Did you know that Kraken is the first shuffled boss that I tested?
Really?
Yeah. I wasn't entirely certain it would work, so I wanted to pick someone who had a really big sprite, because that was one of the things I thought might explode. They all work except Diamond Dog, which kind of works.
Yeah, I guess there's no way to just have the second half of that battle, huh? Because wouldn't that fix the problem?
It would fix the problem, but it's Diamond Dog. You're supposed to have two halves.
True.
Aurelius actually had a very interesting point of just making the second half of Diamond Dog be random.
Oh my! It's showing off brilliant colors. It's Everdread.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a random boss has it, which would actually fix the then any of the bosses could end up in the Poke slot just fine, because I would just not put that effect in there.
Zimmycakes is going to 4 side, so it looks like he is going to pick up that meteorite.
Yeah, just one check behind, so not getting too messed up by the logic here. Should be joining Catador very shortly.
Thank goodness, because that could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm. You know what boss we really should shuffle is Gaius.
Yeah. He's just Frank.
It's just Frank. I kind of like the idea of having a random boss in the Gaius slot who's just like completely swirled and distorted, and you still have to do the prayer thing on that slot, but it's their attack script.
Zimmycakes trying to despawn the boss, it looks like.
Despawn the boss. Looks like Catador got to the Cave of the Past and then realized it didn't have any repel sandwiches. I got some funny item management on Zimmycakes' side, giving Paula the Mr. Baseball cap. And we're on final item prep for Zimmy, and Catador will be returning to the past with some repel sandwiches. I definitely like just bailing and not trying to power through because you forgot.
Right.
Like this, I don't know, this was maybe like a 30-second time lost, 40-second time lost. That's like one of the horrible fights in that cave.
Oh, if you're lucky.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the double Starman fight is going to take you at least a minute.
Yeah, those can go so wrong so fast. And even if they don't, there's so many animations. Catador's trying to figure out which kid has which PSI for Gaius strats. Good thing to do now instead of during the fight. I did miss who had PSI Shield and Brain Shock.
Looks like Pooh has regular Pooh shields. Because he has the Alpha, Sigma, and Beta.
Pooh will always have Alpha, Sigma, and Beta. It's a question of whether it's the PSI Shield or the regular. So the way the PSI Shuffle works is the kids keep their learn rate and which ones they learn in which order, but which PSIs are in that slot changes.
Oh, that's nasty. Because you can't tell the difference between the two Sigmas unless you go into the status menu, right?
One is PSI Shield and one's Shield.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which is super confusing because they'll call them PSI Shield in some places, and they're both technically PSI Shield. Who knows? But yes, the one that says PSI Shield in the menus is the one that reflects PSI.
Oh, I got the big league bat.
She got that big league bat. And Catador's having a nice trip over. It looks like Zimmycakes also had to go pick up repel sandwiches from Dusty Dunes.
Yeah, luckily he did it before he got turned into a robot.
Yeah, that's a nice little time save. Alright, if anyone has a last-second boss prediction that hasn't gotten it in, it is time. Who will it be? The Apple of Enlightenment cannot predict it. So, are we better at this than him? Or it?
Thunder and Storm from Catchment Ultros. If this was my channel, you could do the random boss prediction.
That's right, we added that. Spectre. Good guesses. Oh, it looks like Satseed got it at the last second. Nice guess.
Nice job. Also, I'm pretty sure the runners are going to curse you now, putting this evil upon them.
Yeah, this is not a great one. Starting off with a shield is one of the worst things that a Gygas assistant can do. Wow. And since the PSI Shuffle put freeze on the Rockin' slot, Gygas is using freeze. And it's gross.
It is, and Ness is down. And honestly, a death from Catador here is not really going to help Zimmycakes. They're at basically the same point, but he's going to have just as much, if not more, trouble as Catador is having.
Yeah, definitely. There's half of a fight ahead for Catador. So that's the tiebreaker, but it really comes down to how many Gygas fights is going to take them. Not doing a lot of damage.
Honestly, this would have been a great seed, especially with that teleport pickup, to do Magican before going into the final boss.
Yeah, if we knew that it was Electrospectre back here, I think it would make Magicant even more necessary and good.
Yeah, and I mean, you couldn't have predicted it, and everything was pointing to being okay because Pooh had that PSI shield.
Yeah, it looks like Catador got through it, and I think the rest of this fight should be much more reasonable. I actually got a really funny request from someone to make the stench of Pokey still lingers here message in the top right corner of Scaraba be a Gygas assistant hint.
That is incredibly clever. Who suggested that? You have this?
Jeez, I have no idea. It was a casual runner, not one of our regulars.
We call those guys nest rockers, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to start using that terminology. So, are you saying that you're a casual?
I'm extremely casual. I'm so casual I wouldn't even call myself casual. That is a great idea, I agree.
Yeah, it would ruin our commentary game of making everybody guess, though.
That is a fun... Honestly, I think that's part of the fun. And even when you're, streaming a race yourself or just a solo scramble, is everybody guessing in chat.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is more fun than the What Chest Will It Be game from Link to the Past. If you're not familiar, people guess where the big key will be in Ganon's tower.
Is that fun?
It's kind of fun. It's a good way to make light of a really annoying Jack.
There's really only one randomized Link to the Past runner I watch, and I don't know. I guess he doesn't do that one.
Oh, that's a shame. Is it Andy?
Oh no, I didn't know Andy runs that. No, it's
a different Andy.
I can't remember his name. Let me look at my followers.
No worries. Oh wow, Zimmy's really having a rough time over here. Wait, sorry. Catador's having a really rough time over here. I got my eyes crossed. Zimmy's having a moderately rough time. Zimmy is taking the very bold using Thunder in this phase move, which I think is the play, but this is really dicey at this moment. And Catador is on to phase 3. Yeah, this is really going to come down to, like, how many Gygas wipes there are. Catador wins ties.
Yeah. He's a pretty cool runner. He does some other stuff too.
Yeah. Watching Andy, just Andy, not Andy Perfect or Andy with a 4, is what got me into randos actually. So we should try to recruit him to Scramble so we have 3 Andys in our community.
Oh no, We have enough Andes. No more Andes.
Oh, no, both of our Andes are wonderful. We should get another one.
That's true.
Alright, Catador is on to phase 4. We've got Ness and Paula up, and not quite as many heals as you would like. Looks like bringing Jet... Oh, double Solidify is rough.
Oh, no.
Looks like he is taking
you have the life up here.
Yeah, taking a turn to stabilize is very smart here. Yeah, if
Paula
was...
is...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's probably the play I would make too. Paula is a little faster than Ness.
And that is just bullshit. Catador is going to be taking a wipe here.
Damn. Zimmy's not looking much better with only one kid alive.
Yeah. Looks like... I don't know if Catador healed in the way in. I'm going to use Auto Fight to die. But unfortunately, Auto Fight heals you. And she's realizing just slightly too late. Yeah, it's just a mean Gygus.
That freeze shuffle. We saw it before with the fire shuffle, and that wasn't too bad, even though it attacks all your party members. But the freeze just really ruins your day, especially if it, solidifies.
Yeah. Well, in this phase of the fight, it is. It's still just vanilla Gygus, but freeze is the scariest thing that Gygus does over here. I have been thinking a little bit about making this a little less random, and just having, like, shuffling the order of Gygus' attacks and making them cycle through those in a fixed order. Would make these fights a little more fair. And Catador gets the invisible characters glitch. I have a rough time coming back to Gygus without those repel sandwiches. I think I would have taken the reset.
I think so too, but honestly, it took me a very, very, very too long of a time to realize that I could reset on the emulator, and I would just like stock up on tons of repel sandwiches instead.
Yeah, the save reset versus continue mechanics in this game are a little odd. If you reset, you go back to exactly where you were in the save. If you take the death, then you keep all of your experience and items, and plot flags. But keeping all your items also means keeping the ones that you've lost.
Zimmy has taken the reset here.
Yeah,
and that may make the difference.
Yeah, I think so too. Catador is going to be going through this cave without repel sandwiches. I'm going to take some time. Going to need some healing at the end. Going to get through with less PSI. Well, maybe not less PSI. I found a butterfly.
That being said, it's not too late to reset for Catador.
That's true, though he would end up behind Zimmycakes. We also don't know if he took the save on the way in, which would be required.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Thank you, Charles.
Honestly,
yeah,
appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah, speaking of that, I will be right back and leave you to anchor this for just a second.
Oh, no worries. Alright, Tomar's not here. Everybody in chat, act up. Say swears. Not those swears, Jesus. Honestly though, this is one of the more interesting ends to a seed. Like, I like to see both the racers being basically in the same place and just kind of resetting to 0 for both of them, because that's basically where they are, and it makes for a more interesting end of the race. They both gotten here, and it's just whoever executes better and whoever gets luckier, honestly, from what Gygus does and what they can accomplish. And it is a really risky play on Catador's side that paid off. That Thunder trying to get rid of Electro Spectre's shield. It worked, though.
Hello, everyone. I have returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Wow, it looks like chat went wild when I disappeared. Did you prompt this?
I don't know what you're talking about, and I refuse to acknowledge it.
Yeah, it sounds like you did. Alright, so we are back. They are in sync. Yeah, it is kind of luck-based at this point.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I really enjoy these types of the end of the race where they basically get reset back to the same level, and you just have to see who executes better and who gets luckier.
Yeah, I think it's a little too luck-based, but I definitely like the equalizer that is the end of it. In a way, all of your run up to this point is just like how many more attempts at Gygus you get than your opponent.
Yeah, and Catador is actually killing it. They went for a risky Thunder play, and it paid off. Hit Electrospectre and no one else.
Oh, wow.
Looks like Zimmycakes is going for the same.
Yeah, I like that play right at the start of the fight. I like it less when things are starting to get spicy. And Catador's through.
And Zimmycakes is back to square one.
Yeah, dying to a hungry HP stalker.
Been there. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, this is very, very close.
And it's so interesting because, 5 minutes ago, if you said to me, hey, who's going to get to Gygus and win? I would have said Zimmycakes because they reset, they had all their repel sandwiches, and Catador just muscled through and is totally kicking this fight's butt.
Yeah, this is looking Catador right now, but again, this is just a very difficult fight where a lot of things can go wrong.
I would like to point out that Ness does have that Casey bat, and you can equip items in combat.
That's true. This actually might be a good case for the Casey bat with that PSI shielded Electrospectre. Looks like he's opting for just picking up some levels as a way to make this easier, which I also think is quite appreciable.
Honestly, I have to say, if I was in Zimmycakes mindset and I said to myself, I need levels, I wouldn't grind in Cave of the Past. I would go do a quick magic hand with the repel sandwiches I had.
Yeah, it looks like it was a very quick grind here, so Cave of the Past makes some sense, but I don't like grinding in Cave of the Past either.
The fights are too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the fights are so hard, and they give good experience, but they don't give outstanding experience.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it'd be different if it was progressive enemies shuffle, and you had some easier enemies there.
Yeah, I love how progressive enemy shuffle just magically worked out to having red caterpillars in here a lot of the time.
You know, fun fact, I didn't realize what progressive enemies shuffle was until I played that race.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people understand what it is until they see it. I can't think of a better way to explain it, though. I actually want to add another enemy shuffle mode, too. It's going to be even harder to explain. Because I'd really like to do the no shuffle, except when an enemy would get repeated, and then shuffle those ones.
I know you can't speculate onto what the future rounds in the tournament may or may not be.
You know what they will be is really cool.
Sure. But can you say any flags that absolutely will not make the cut?
MSU.
That's fair.
Not what you were looking for?
It's not what I was looking for, no. MSU, for those of you not aware, is just like a music replacement.
Yeah. There will be no MSU shuffle as the official flags. I actually haven't figured out all of the flags. I know what the next winner's bracket flag set will be, but I don't actually have a complete idea of what next week's will be.
I was talking about this with Javinator when we casted together, and I thought it'd be interesting if the Deeper Darkness bracket had like one curse.
Just the whole time through.
The whole time through. In addition to, whatever random flags you decide.
That would be really spicy. I mean, it's too late now. We had everyone sign up with a specific idea of what the sets would be, but I'd love to see a tournament in that format.
What is Inaugural, right? So maybe next time?
Yeah, maybe next time. Also, I just would love to see someone else organize a tournament for these things. I can't see myself doing this organization more than once a year, but I would definitely watch and help commentate more than one a year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm always down for more PK Scramble myself. I wouldn't mind help setting up a tournament, but I think we need some breathing room after this one.
Oh, absolutely. And there's the Boogie Percent tournament coming up, also going to be broadcast on this channel very soon. I think it'll overlap some of the Scramble tournament.
Will we have...
Oh, sorry. If you like... we keep talking at the same time, so I'm going to power through. If you like Progressive Enemy Shuffle, you should definitely check out this week's weekly. It is Random Starts plus Progressive Enemy Shuffle, which is a combo I'm pretty excited about.
I should do the weekly.
Yeah, everyone's been neglecting it because of the tournament, which is super understandable. But we do have new runners who are interested in Scramble because of the tournament, and if you want to get in, I recommend doing casual 8 sank and then coming in and joining us on the weeklies.
And if you're new here and you have no idea what a PK Scramble is, give a look-see over at pkscramble.com. It is an Earthbound randomizer. There's lots of different flags you can put on it, different requirements for sanctuaries and things like that.
And Catador is getting really mean Gygus luck again. It's just going to have to pray IRL while Paula prays for the rest of this. Looks like we've got a Nesrocker fan in chat. Very understandable. You run a good stream.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Catador is just freaking out here, but pray is the solution. Let's see, there's a 50% chance of Gygus doing effectively nothing, and a 1 in 4 chance of Thunder, which is not guaranteed to kill you.
Yeah, was that a gut save on Paula?
No, that was a Gygus Flash. Alright, one more prayer for Catador. He has a little better than 50-50 chance of winning right now. So, good luck, Catador! And it was a nothing. So, GG, Catador wins the round.
GG. Man, that was super spicy right there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a mean Gygus and a mean Gygus assistant. Very nice close race. So this means that Catador will be advancing along the danger bracket. I'm going to pull that up now and see if I can figure out who he'll be up against next, if we even know that yet.
Yeah. Do you think we could get Catador for post-race commentary?
I doubt it, but I'll check. Alright, and it looks like Catador will be up against Javanator. Battle of the Oars.
Battle? Okay, you're not allowed to name the battles anymore.
What? No, I'm putting that in. It's going to be just like Battle of the Andes, but an even dumber thing to point out. Alright, and Zimmy is...
I wouldn't know where to begin to imitate Catador.
Yeah, I've never heard the guy talk.
So, J. Tomar, I think you have muted yourself on accident.
Thank you. I believe you missed me saying that I'm going to label the Battle of the Oars just like the Battle of the Andes.
Alright. Yeah, I was just saying, we had Look's Photogin in chat asking if I could imitate Catador for post-race commentary. I don't do imitations of real people.
Yeah, I also have no idea what Catador sounds like. I've never heard him speak.
I have no idea either. But I do a mean Ed Wynn, if you want to hear that.
I don't know who that is. Catador says that he could try, but speaking right now would be kind of difficult. So, we'll see if he decides he wants to come in or not.
No worries if not, just thought we'd give him the opportunity, at least. I could also do Dr. Claw, if you want to hear that impression.
Is that from Inspector Gadget?
Yes.
I haven't thought about Inspector Gadget in quite a while. I'll give you that.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
That's very impressive, but I actually think you need to dial it down a bit. The real Dr. Claw is not quite that intimidating.
Fair enough. And then Mad Guy goes.
Correct.
Looks like Zimmy's cleaning up here too. Just one prayer away.
Yeah, this is it. Zimmy's got it. So, GG to the both of the runners. Thank you for participating. Thank you, Chad, for joining us on this PK Scramble journey. I believe our next one of these is tomorrow at 5 Pacific. I'm going to double check that instead of just potentially lying to all of you.
I thought it was 7.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it is at 5.
It is at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern tomorrow, and it is me and Nesrocker doing the... Wait, sorry. Me and IQ doing the commentary. Flanders and Nesrocker will be our first race, and then Crimson Green versus Nanobite. It is a double header. Yeah, so Nesrocker, who is my co-commentator today, will be racing tomorrow. Make sure to show up and cheer him on, or cheer his opponent on, as you prefer.
To be fair, I mean, my opponent has the best Twitch name. The better one, at the very least. Stupid Sexy Flanders.
Yeah, it is a good name. Also a good runner. Honestly, I think they're very evenly matched. So that should be a fun race to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I love watching Flanders. I almost said Persona. Phantasy Star 4 runs. It's just a really underrated RPG, and he does a really good job at it.
Oh, interesting. Maybe I'll check that out. I have not actually played any of the Phantasy Star games. Maybe I'll catch up on those someday. Alright, but that is it for us. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Nesrocker, for helping commentate. And just to be redundant, tomorrow, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, other times, other time zones. Hope to see you all there. We've got a double header. It should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Jay Tomar. Thanks for our racers, and thanks for everybody in chat. You guys are wonderful.
Yeah, you're a cool chat. Keep chatting, and have a great day.